Hi everyone, I'm Jessica and I go by Stitching Colours here on Flosstube, and welcome back. Today is the 26th of November 2022, so we're nearly at December. Can you believe how quickly the year has flown by? Today I've got a few whips to show you and a finish, and I had a chart arrive, which was very exciting. So first I guess I will show you my finish, which was Kingdom of Books by Adriana, and this was a kit that I got from Geeko Rouge, which I stitched on 18 count Aida instead of the kit fabric, which was 14 count Aida, and I didn't stitch the background. So here it is, and last time you saw it, I was working on the last couple of books over here. And so since then I put some back stitching in, and I decided not to put the names of the titles of the books on it, and just did a bit of an outline around each of the books. Initially, I was looking at dyeing it, the background of the fabric. I still need to wash it, but I did a bit of a test dye using the method that I thought I could use, and it didn't end up as controlled as I was expecting, and I think I was a bit impatient as well. So I ended up with some really pretty fabric, but yeah, it's not what I was going to do with it. So I think I will just leave this as white fabric and use it on a project bag as initially planned. So I completed 1884 stitches on that piece to finish it off. The next piece I worked on, or I should say the next piece I'm going to show you, is the Twisted Rainbow Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. This is stitched on 25 count black Lugana, and I have gotten some nice progress on it. It isn't that easy to stitch on because it's on black, but I find if you've got enough lighting, it comes together quite nicely. So I'm just working on the tops of these butterflies, and then the next band starts for the bottom half of the butterflies and some other bits around the edges. This is the cross stitch only version. I know a lot of people seem to be working on the specialty stitch version, and they seem to get bogged down on some of those specialty stitches. I completed 1267 stitches on that. The next piece I have to show you is Cat Number 4 charted by Geeko Rouge, based on the artwork by Zizek Namu, and this is coming along nicely. I think there's about 6,000 stitches left to go on it, so I'm slowly getting it all more filled in, and I'm loving how the cat's coming together. So down to about here, at least on this half of the cat, it's all fully finished in there. It's just all of the confetti elsewhere. And I got 682 stitches on it. The way I'm dealing with this one is I pick a colour and finish that colour throughout the piece, and then I go and just start working from the top down, just picking a thread and just working it in as far as I can take that thread, and then choosing the next one. There were originally 110 colours on it, and I think I'm down to about 30 left, fully. Maybe a few less. The next piece I have to show is, what is it? My Sunday piece, which is Dragon Race into the Night. So, it is coming along nicely, and you'll see I've gotten a little bit further down at this night sky end. I love how the castle is looking for the tower, especially as I get further away from it and you get more definition visually in it, and I can't wait to see more on it. So this one had, and I've dropped my book, hang on. This one had 1,825 stitches on it over the last 2 weeks. So we're getting there. The next piece I have to show is Planets Align by Tilton Craft. This is under the Creative Commons license, and it is here. So I've just started in along the second row of pages. It was a lot of 939 and then coming into some greys as it gets around the edge of the planet, or the moon I guess it is, over here. So this got 1,825 stitches as well. So this is about 40% nearly. So I'm really excited in seeing how it looks. And I have to say, even though it's stitched on 25 count, unless you zoom quite far in, you cannot see any gaps. And this is 1/1 on 25 count. So anyone who's on the fence about 25 count 1/1 because of coverage, you've got to remember you're not going to be looking at it close up all the time. Once it's finished, you're going to be looking at it from a distance. And of course, once you wash it after you've finished, it will lose some of that sizing, so it will shrink a little as well. The next piece I have to show, and this one is Wizard Sectus by Heaven and Earth Designs, based on the artwork by Jan Patrick Krasny, and I've got a page finish, which is very exciting. So there was a lot of dark 939 and 310 in this one, in this page. So you'll see down here it's predominantly 939 with the scattering of 310 in there. It is looking amazing, and I'm excited to see the end of the next page, because I believe that is where the hood of the wizard's cloak starts in. So that's going to be very exciting. So that is the full length of it, and you can see it will probably finish about here. So I've made some good progress. And I am missing a piece. Oh, that one had 1,381 stitches on it, and I will be back. This is the piece I was working on last night, which is Archer by Pain Free Crafts, based on the artwork by Ismaira. And this one is kept in a Pain Free Crafts thread bag. I guess it's what they are. They are very cool, and I keep everything in the project. I found that they don't fasten very well, but I use a clip. But I think some of my problem is that I store the fabric, the threads, everything in it, whereas I think they're really only designed to store the cards that come with the threads on them. But they are fantastic. So this is Archer, which I did 684 stitches on it. and I was working in this section here, just working across her dress and in the sky, a little bit of the sky in the background. You can see by how many threads there are parked that it's fairly heavy confetti in this area. So something I've found, and I got an order of these off AliExpress a couple of weeks ago, was that an ordinary sewing bobbin, if you can see, maybe on the blue where it's stitched it might be easier. So an ordinary sewing machine bobbin with one of these thread huggers works great for keeping your threads from being tangled, and I've started using them 1 per 100 stitch box, and I can just unwind one at a time that I've got parked. So one for the row, one for each box on the row I'm working on, and then I just have one for anything that's below. So it's working really well, but you'll see I've got some threads that aren't wound up, and that was because that was the next box I was going to be working on, and I clearly did not quite get there. So this brings me to a total of 10,529 stitches over the last 2 weeks. So a little bit lower than normal, but I have been a little distracted. So I had a very exciting time in that my pattern for Tala, which is by Bella Filipina, arrived on Thursday, and I also ordered the specialty threads and the beads from the person who I got the chart off Etsy. So that means I've got all 3 of them, and I've got all of the embellishments and the Krennics, and all of the DMCs arrived as well, which is very cool. So that'll be another one to start for next year. I'm looking at it going, how am I going to start all these pieces? There's a lot of them that I want to start. Am I actually going to get any progress on any of them next year? We'll see, but just a thing. Okay, and I think it's gone, the other one. So I got the 3D printer and have been playing around with getting thread drops and things like that to work. And so I've got some thread drops that are working quite nicely, and they're quite small, not that thick, but they don't break. So I'm happy, and it's just a matter of getting leveling and things all sorted, because that seems to be the worst bit of it. All the mucking around. Once you've got the right settings on the model itself that you want printed is great, but you've got to get everything all level. The other thing I was experimenting with one of these, which I found the model online, and it might work, but my concern is that these holes are going to be too small. I was planning on only using the outer holes, and possibly the inner holes might have worked for partial, like single threads, but maybe not. So I might have a go at making something similar myself and making the holes just a touch bigger and getting rid of the inner row of holes. We'll see. It was a really cool idea. It's just, it might work well for kits. I think there's 40 holes on the outside and 35 on the inner ring. So knowing that these things can be done can be half the thing of working out how to make it work the best for yourself. Here is the fabric I experimented with dyeing. I'm really happy with the fabric. It's a beautiful colour, but there are a couple of dye spots on it, especially down here, they aren't coming through so well. So this is 18 count Ada, and to be honest, it's too small of a piece to actually use for anything, but it was a scrap that I was experimenting with because I wanted to test out the paintbrush dyeing before I started and tried to do Kingdom of Books because it had all the stitching on it, and decided, yeah, no, it's not going to work the way I hoped. I think some of the problem was I didn't have the patience for it. I very quickly ended up going, yeah, no, I'm not painting this on. It just didn't seem to be coming through very well. So I started pouring it, and I got, as you can see, it was a beautiful colour. It almost matches my top. And that was not intentional. But anyway, it's a beautiful fabric, but the size of it makes it hard. So Thursday is the start of December for anyone who can't believe the year has gone so quickly. It doesn't feel like it should be December, nearly. It feels like we're still mid-year kind of time. So it's going to be interesting, but I'm just about ready for a new start and quite excited for it actually, because something I've noticed is that a lot of my pieces I'm either in a point of stitching heaps of 310 or 939 or 823, other than Archer and the Twisted Rainbows piece. Everything is in the blues, so stitching something else would be quite nice, a different colour, something bright, because the curtains are first. So I'm very excited. So in case anyone wants to participate, I've set up a hashtag on Instagram for hashtag Christmasstyle 2022. So work on any Christmas pieces. It'll be exciting to see how much people work on things, or all the different pieces that people see and feel link up to their own Christmas. So thank you for all of the wonderful comments and new subscribers. If you like this video, I hope you come back and see what we're up to in another couple of weeks. Alright, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a good start to December. Alright, thank you, bye!